Good morning. I'm Chaplain John Rollison, and thank you so much for joining us for our Advent devotional reading and lesson from the Christian History Institute. This is day 10, and we'll begin with a passage from the book of Isaiah, chapter 7, verse 14, where we read, "Therefore the Lord himself will give you a sign. Behold, a virgin shall conceive and bear a son, and shall call his name Emmanuel." In his book, Miracles, the Christian author C.S. Lewis wrote, "The Christian story is precisely the story of one grand miracle. What is uncreated, eternal, came into nature, into human nature, descended into his own universe, and rose again, bringing nature up with him." Throughout his life, C.S. Lewis wrote a lot about the incarnation of Christ, and we realize that it's something that meant a lot to him, and we see it a lot in his writings as well. In his book, Miracles, Lewis imagines Christ as a deep sea diver working on a salvage project, going down into his own fallen creation in order to bring the whole ruined world up with him to a new creation, to a new life. In his book, The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, when the lion Aslan re-enters the world, he breaks the hold of a long, hopeless winter, returning it to the new life of spring and restoring flesh and blood to hapless souls imprisoned as stone statues. In yet another story, his sci-fi book, Perelandra, he culminates in a hymn to God's, what he calls his great dance. And it reads like this: "In the fallen world, he prepared for himself a body and was united with the dust and made it glorious forever. In the end and final cause of all creating, blessed be he." How can we even imagine what this means for us, that what we might call dust creatures, will be glorified and brought up with him? And we realize, like Lewis, that this is the reason that Jesus came, to descend into the world, to suffer and die for our sins, and then to ascend into heaven after the crucifixion, for those of us who believe in him can be with him for all of eternity. I pray this brought you hope and encouragement this morning. Until tomorrow, I'm Chaplain John Rollison.